good evening, and thank you for joining us for Chill Rewind featuring Are You Afraid of the Dark, Season 5, Episode 7, 9, and 10. Episode 8, we have agreed to skip over due to the cultural appropriation, so we're going to treat it like Bruno. We're not going to talk about it. But we have the tale of the badge, the tale of the unexpected visitor, and the tale of the chameleons, and the tale of the badge. Gary tells the story. The story takes place during a teenage girl's birthday party. The girl is Gwen, who has just turned 16, and her parents and her Irish grandmother, Willie, have all sat down with her while she happily blows out the candles. Then they wish her a happy birthday. Then suddenly, Gwen's younger brother, Trevor, comes in. He's feeling all excited and happily tells them all that he just won first prize in the science fair. Their parents are thrilled and immediately go over to him to congratulate him and applaud him. Gwen once again feels upstaged and outdone by her brother, so she goes to her room feeling upset. Willie can see she feels this way and she is concerned. Willie opens the drawer on her dresser and takes out a ruby amulet. Then suddenly an old chest in the drawer that has the word badge carved onto it begins shaking and rumbling. She tells it to stop, then it suddenly does. Willie goes to see Gwen in her room. Gwen is feeling miserable. Willie tells her that she shouldn't keep letting herself feel outdone and upstaged by her brother because she needs to realize how special she is as well. Also, her birthday is a very special one. Since she is now 16, the time has come for her to receive the Jasper's Light amulet. Willie informs her it's a family tradition because her grandmother passed one down to her on her 16th birthday. Also, Willie's grandmother was also given one from her grandmother on her 16th birthday as well. Gwen thanks her, saying that she loves it. Willie is about to show Gwen their family portrait book to explain their family history. Then Gwen's mom comes in. Her mom is disappointed. She was just on the phone with her band instructor from school who revealed that Gwen just quit the school band. Willie is very disappointed hearing about this. Gwen, doubting herself, says she quit because she just wasn't good enough. The following evening, her parents are going out to a school parents meeting, so they need her to stay home and babysit her brother. Willie can't do it because she has a ladies club meeting, so she has no choice. Gwen is reluctant to staying home to babysit her brother since it's her birthday and because she was invited to a party that evening. And then Willie is placing the small chest back to her dresser drawer. Trevor is spying on her. Then he sees where she puts the key. As Gwen's parents leave for the meeting, she is now happy to hear that Willie will be home by 8 p.m. Then she can go to the party and they wish her a happy birthday and leave. Willie's ride shows up and she tells them that she'll be home at 8 p.m. sharp. And then she tells Trevor, primum non nostre. Hearing this, Trevor just smirks as Willie leaves. Trevor reveals it means first do no harm. Feeling frustrated, she really calls him Geek Boy and tells him to do whatever he wants, but to just stay away from her. Trevor contradicts her, telling her it wasn't Greek, it was Latin. Now she feels annoyed and storms off. Trevor, sensing he did something wrong, worries and hides the chest outside a window. Gwen comes in asking him what the loud noise was. He denies it, saying he didn't hear anything. Gwen, feeling annoyed, tells him just to get out of Willie's room. Trevor walks back in the room and watches as the fog starts heavily blowing outside. Then all the lights start flickering on and off. Then all the power and phone lines are cut off. Gwen finds a flashlight and goes to see if Trevor is all right. When she calls out to Trevor, someone suddenly is knocking at the door. The voice is from a man. He says that he's looking for Sutherwind and asks to come in. She feels scared and tells him to check next door. The man says that there has been an accident and he needs her help. She tells him that he can get help at the gas station a few blocks away. When she looks out the door's peephole, she sees nothing but fog blowing. Suddenly, a horrifying goblin enters the house, laughing maniacally. The goblin says that he's returned and his name is Badge. Gwen and Trevor both back away, terrified. He pins Gwen to the wall, addressing her as the Sutherwind, but says that she is not the real Sutherwind. Gwen, confused, wants to know what he wants. Badge just says he demands the Sutherwind. A terrified Trevor demands that he lets her go, only for Badge to grab him. Gwen runs through the front door calling for Trevor, then suddenly she is teleported to Badge's lair. The lair is full of rotten plants, vines, slimy mud on the ground. She walks along and is scared to see skeletons of people. They were people who were captured, then hung by the neck and left for dead. She falls on the floor and finds the chest with the crystal and flute inside of it. She hears Badge frustratingly say, that for 6 centuries he was trapped in his prison. Badge tells her that if she brings him the setter wine, she'll give her brother back. Gwen is confused because she still has no clue what a setter wine is. Badge tells her he's been trapped for 12 lifetimes and now he is free. And he says the setter wine magic is no match for his. So if he doesn't get it soon, he'll hang her in his lair forever, then sends her back to find the setter wine.
Goodness.
Gwen runs back to the house to get the chest. She reads the first one named Selena Setterwine. She created the spell to banish Badge. By darkest night, I played this song to hold the beast in moments long. I call upon the Jasper's light to bind the goblin in Setterwine might. When looking through the book further, she notices all the women have their own Jasper's Light amulet. Then she finds a portrait of Wilhelmina Setterwine. Now she realizes that she is her own grandmother, Willie. She is the Setterwine. Then she notices her portrait in there as well. So soon she will become the new Setterwine. Basically, she feels good about herself and she destroys the badge. The end.
I know. Yeah, I know. It was getting long, and I know you were starting to get a little crazy. So with this protagonist story, I like this story. I do. I do like this one. This one, and there's one other in season 5. I think I like. I don't think we've watched it yet. Yeah, no, I don't think we've watched it yet. But this one stands out as again with Gary and with his brother Tucker. They always do family ones, and it's always, well, I won't say they always do, but they it's a good portion of their storytelling is about family and about basically about siblings who don't understand each other or don't get along, as he and him don't get along. So I think it's really telling that with this particular story, this girl literally has to literally, for lack of a better word, try to understand her power in such a short time. Now, had her grandmother had more time to actually explain this to her, it wouldn't have been such a mystery and she wouldn't have had to figure this out on her own.
And
But
also, I always think it's strange because there's too many like sibling stories where it's like one person is having a special day and the sibling is able to come in and just uproot, like center themselves in somebody else's day and nobody corrects them.
like at all, which is weird.
It's like it's her birthday. Take the little boy with you. You're going to a parents' meeting at the school. You're not going to a club. Take him with you.
She said
You
you're
done told
not good.
this girl that she can go to this party for her birthday, and at the last minute,
Like I said, for the most part, I do like this story. It's a good, comfortable, feel good story where she figures out that, sometimes talents, no matter what they are, they can be helpful. And she finds out that her talent for music was helpful for her. She not figured it out or had her grandmother had time to tell her or explain to her, it would have been, well, we wouldn't have had a story if her grandmother explained it to her. Gotta take that into account. But for the most part, this story is it's your general feel good. We vanquished the monster. Here we go. Everything's good and everything's okay. But it was a feel good story. It was one of the ones I liked in season 5 because, as you know, with a lot of the kids that have left, from season 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, we had another person leave. I was just like, geez, man, what are y'all doing to these kids? But I think this was a good story. I don't think there's too much we can say about this one. It's your
yeah.
general feel good. We vanquished the monster story.
Hmm. And just one thing, the one caveat that just to take away because they're always in any dynamic seems to be the more talented one, and somebody always feels like they're not special. The fact that She's literally special. Was the beauty for me. A little creeped out that she was her own great grandmother, but hey.
Well, I don't think she was her own great grandmother. I'm just saying it's just she's probably. I think it was just she was named after her, right? If I'm
No,
correct.
she's her own great grandmother.
I'm confused.
I guess there's just a cycle of setter wines. Like there's only so many, so they just keep coming back.
Either that or it's just a grand.
Yeah, she found out that she was her own great grandmother.
Good lord, we'll discuss this later.
Then we have the tale of the unexpected visitor, and just a quick synopsis. Some boys got into some computer equipment that belonged to one boy's father. They sent out a code, i.e., their music, which was horrid, and got a visitor from some aliens. Got abducted, got saved, and then started sending their music through satellite waves up to the aliens.
I just this one was. I mean, I get Kiki's story. I do get Kiki. I love Kiki. I generally love Kiki's stories. Hers generally have people of color, and we don't have too many of that on this show. But this one, I'm just like, girl, I think you needed to go back to the drawing board on this one. I don't think this one was too much of a whirlwind story as your
Let's
normal stories are.
let's not forget that the caveat that they gave in the very beginning is that she was extremely sleep deprived. So I think that played into it also.
I guess,
So
but
she didn't
yeah,
have her normal preparation. She didn't have her uh normal thing going on.
I guess I'll give it to her for that. But I'm like, girl, that was not your moment. I was like, this ain't your moment, your magic. I was like, this ain't it.
But in the next one, the tale of the comedians,
The chameleons. Now,
chameleons. I don't know what comedian. Okay, anyway, um, Betty Ann brought us the color. She brought us the diversity. And for those of you all that may not know, this is the episode that features Tia and Tamara Mowry. And you should have watched it with us last night. If you get a chance, go watch the episode and then come back next week and talk to us because there were some switcheroos that happened. I'm not going to explain this week what the switcheroos were, but we'll discuss the switcheroo. We'll save that nugget for next week. But basically, one young lady who has for the time boomer parents and she's a modern teenager goes into a pet shop, decides to stick her hand in a bin with some chameleons, gets bit, chameleon gets free, gets into the mother's groceries, goes home. Overnight the chameleon morphs into her and turns her into a chameleon, tries to off her and is trying to take over her life. Bada bing bada boom, the bestie figures out what's going on and tries to save her, but in the end the bestie sprays down the wrong person, well, the wrong chameleon with the water and condemns her bestie down the well. It was not a happy ending. The chameleon took over her life.
I'll say this with this particular story, this was a child's version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's basically what it was. It was a
And
child's version.
very reminiscent of there's a movie, I believe it's called The Doll, where the doll slowly begins to life because it takes away from the little girl that it was gifted to until the little girl becomes the doll. The only difference is the mother caught on that the doll had replaced her daughter and they fixed the situation, but they didn't throw out the doll, and another little girl found the doll and the cycle continued.
I've never heard of that one. Interesting.
I get insomnia a lot.
Yeah, understandable. I like this one, and the reason I like it not because Tia and Tamara, but it really puts on to display the old customs that people generally still ignore about animals. Because there are things that people who have lived around these animals know that people who don't live around these animals don't know. And they know not to do certain things. Like in Africa, there's a saying: an elephant can kill you, a lion can kill you, and the black mamba can kill you. The only thing is, with the black mamba, death is absolutely surely going to happen unless you get to an hospital within like a good 5 minutes. Their venom is one of, if not the most powerful snake venom on the face of this planet. And the fact that they can give you at least about what, I think it's about this size in such a rapid fire succession, because it's not just one time that they bite you. They'll bite you a good 2 to 3 times. So this coffee mug, this entire coffee mug, that venom is that it's about this much that they can give you in one shot. Now, do they want to give it to you? No, they want to save it for the things that they're going to eat. But if you invade their territory and space and they're feeling threatened, they're going to do what they have to do. So with that, this chameleon story, it gives into that there are notions that African people brought over here that they were just like, there are some things we're not going to tell, we're not going to deal with, we're not doing that, it's not going to
Not
happen.
only that,
We
it's not just the animal parts of it. There are significant parts of nature that you just should not mess with at all.
I thought that was me.
No. And if you, I know for a fact, she's kind of started a series on this on TikTok. But if you're on TikTok, and you have the opportunity, go check out Voodoo Bay,
Mm.
because she's starting to tell people about the taboos. Um, and I'll let her explain what taboos mean and what the taboos are, because not just there are animals you shouldn't mess with, but there are certain foods you should not eat. There are certain things that, depending on your lineage, you should not partake in, like when the sun is up or when the sun is down. And you need to know, because sometimes people are like, I don't understand why all this calamitous stuff happens to me, because you are interacting with things that are not meant for your lineage.
Then my lineage must be really confused, because somehow or other it does not matter. If the sun is up, I am up. But also if the moon is up, I'm up. I don't get it. I'm like, make a decision. Make a decision here, body. I cannot do this. I can't.
I feel you on that one. But do you have anything else to add onto these episodes? Sorry, you guys, that this is going to be a short episode. I'm kind of hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah, that's why we I kind of sped it up, because I knew she hasn't been feeling the greatest, but she gonna get better. She'll be alright. I don't have too many things other to say, other than I think after this season, I don't want to do the other two. I'm
I thought
gonna
we
be
I
honest.
thought we agreed. In my notes, it said we were only doing five. Did I write my notes down wrong again?
No, you didn't. I said we were gonna do the whole thing, and then I was just like, I meant to. I meant, and see, I didn't give you the further converse part of the conversation, saying that we were gonna do 6 and 7. I said when and if we get there, whatever the order is, that's what it's gonna be. But
Oh,
I don't have it in me to do 6 and 7 as
okay.
much as
Because
I like.
when we were talking about the original list for this show, that's what I took my notes from.
Yeah,
And
so
I didn't go back, and I mean, there were certain tweaks we have made along the lines because, other things have, come into fruition.
because hang on one
How many
second,
more do we have left in this season?
I'm about to grab it now. Ugh. Ooh, girl. I think we can finish it off next week, because there's only three. It's only three.
Okay.
It's not that bad. But yeah. So this part of Childhood Rewind will be over as of next week. We'll probably be in talks of this week to see what else we're gonna pick up on. Um,
If we're going to do another series or if we're going to dibble in some movies.
yeah. So we're gonna be discussing in hardcore discussions about what exactly we're going to be watching after these 3 episodes are done. So if you have any suggestions, again, hold on, I'll turn it. I'll turn it around. There's an extensive, that you can take a look at. So there's a wall there. So I mean, there's plenty to choose from. If you have anything, just let us know in the comment section. If you come back to this video, just please just write in the comment section. Hey, I have a suggestion. Can you guys take a look at it and see if we can
Or
if
just do like y'all always do. DM me.
that
But at
that
least this time, put in at the very beginning. Just put childhood rewind at the top, because y'all be putting the name of the show at the bottom after y'all give me 50 million suggestions. Just put it at the
oh
top.
no.
And give your suggestions, because I sometimes I get confused. Like, what show do they want this on? Because it could fit different things. You know what I mean? Ah, and don't forget,
Also, oh,
uh, I'm gonna shoot for Tuesday afternoon, just because I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Uh, for my information that I've uncovered regarding Roe v. Wade, my take on it, and what you all should be focusing on. It will be a pre-recorded show, but it will air as if it's, live, just so you all know. So if you put questions in that comment section, I will not be able to answer them in real time. But Tuesday we will be back to a regularly scheduled programming on this channel. Fingers crossed. So, final words on
also,
tonight.
also, I'm going to say this: one suggestion per person. One
Yes,
numero
please.
uno. So if you have a suggestion, or you have a couple, narrow it down to one, and that's it.
And if it's
Um,
something we have never, ever, ever seen or heard of before, and you make the suggestion and we tell you, hey, we're willing to do it, but we don't know much about it, we don't know the background, at least be willing to come on an episode or two. If it's a series, if it's a movie, be willing to come on to give us the background and kind of educate us and everybody else on it. Because although we watched a lot of things back in the day, we couldn't watch everything.
we ain't had that power.
We still had to go to school.
But yeah, no. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, next week will be the last for Are You Afraid of the Dark? We're not canceling Childhood Rewind. We're just Are You Afraid of the Dark will be done.
Yeah. And who
So
knows? We might do a movie, might do a little Buffy, might do some Charmed,
something will
might
happen.
do music videos from back then. Heck, we might pull up toys. With us, you never know. It is called Childhood Rewind, and it does not have to be a TV show or movie. If you want to discuss games from back in the day,
Oh
toys from
God.
back in the day, books from back in the day, just let us know. Help us
Goodness.
help you.
Of course. Well, as always, we love seeing you here, and we love that you love coming here and watching us sit here and discuss this show. But you ain't gotta leave, but you gotta get out of here. We love you.
Each one teach one, each one reach one. Till next week, you guys.
Next week.